Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline presented by Gillette. I am Nick Eatman, and the Cowboys, tough loss on Sunday in Denver, something that should, I guess, be expected. Haven't won in Denver since 1992. Haven't beaten the Broncos at all since 1995. Don't play them a lot. Maybe that's a good thing for the Cowboys because the success against that team certainly isn't there. Definitely in Denver, where the crowd was a factor for, it seemed like it, for the Cowboys that had a lot of pre-snap penalties, just a lot of issues on offense that we just haven't seen this year. No doubt they're a different team from home and away, but for sure playing in Denver, they have a great home field advantage, and it showed in that game. They get the win 44-24, and the Cowboys are 3-4-1. One game to go before the bye week. I guess you call this the midpoint season. 8 games in, 9 to go. So right about now, the Cowboys have a Monday night game against a very well-rested Arizona team that's coming off a bye week. They've lost 5 in a row. Don't let that fool you, though, because those 5 losses are by combined 13 points. A couple of one-pointers, 2 points, 3 here. I mean, they're close. They're not winning these games, but they're certainly right there. So I'm sure that they're with the bye week and looking at the way the Cowboys defense is playing. I'm sure the offense from Arizona is excited about getting to AT&T Stadium this Monday night. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's hear from you guys. Let's start it off with the phone lines. Travis in San Antonio will start us off.
Hey, Nick. Happy Tuesday.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I know we're going to be quick, so I want to get right to this. I want to build on Dylan's point yesterday. He was talking about this team, the defense not having any bones to it. And the more and more I've thought about this, Nick, it's going to ruffle some feathers, but maybe it'll spark some conversation for you today. I'm okay if they give up a 1 or even 2 ones, if it means they're finding a guy that is going to be part of the bones of this defense that can help you for the last 9 games, but also be somebody you build around for next season. There's a couple names out there, but I know we're not saying names. But the only reasons I say that are, people are getting hung up on the 2 first-round picks. And I've tried to tell people, too, in most drafts, there's 15 first-round players.
Right. If
you're drafting 20 or later, you're drafting the second-round player anyways. And those 2 Green Bay picks, if you were to move those 2, they're probably, if we're being realistic, are probably going to be, right now it's 31, but they're probably both going to be 20 or later. So I just want people to be open to the fact that we haven't drafted the best on defense the last 4 or 5 years. So if you go out and get somebody proven, go get someone proven, I guess is my point, to be the bones of this defense. And I just want to see what you thought.
No,
you guys have a great one.
Thanks, Travis. I don't hate that. I've said that as well. Whatever you do, I mean, it's not a this year thing. It's this year, but it's also next couple years. I mean, that's what you would have to give up if you're going to part with a first round pick. I mean, that's the kind of player, and so that kind of player is going to be part of your team for the next few years. He's part of the core, and that's what you expect out of your first round pick. But you're right. I mean, when you look at drafting in the 20s, I mean, the Cowboys haven't been super at it. Tyler Smith's a good player. I mean, let's not forget that. But they also have drafted Mozzie Smith and Tyler Guyton the last few years, and that hasn't worked out yet. I mean, now Tyler Guyton's starting for you, but I mean he's got his issues too at left tackle. I think he's a young player that will continue to develop. I think he's going to be a good player, but you can't say that about Mozzie. He's not playing. He's not playing on a position of need, and he's not playing a lot and making an impact. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you. I don't know if everyone believes that. I do. I think that's a good plan. But it's got to be a good fit. It's got to be somebody that they would want to sign long term. So those guys aren't just always sitting there ready to be traded, and then another team just come in and sign them. So it's got to work out perfectly, and I don't think those those situations aren't there as much as people think they are. I think there's good players teams want to move, but for whatever the reason, that player is probably not interested in signing a new deal, or they would have already done them, and they wouldn't really be a guy that you would be trading anyways. All right, Irene in Falls Church, Virginia. Irene.
Hey, good morning. I'm not going to be emotional about whatever that was, but two things on offense. So I'm self-scouting. If I'm shoddy, I am I'm not abandoning the run down in the red zone. I don't understand. You're at the 1 yard line. Why don't you go 4 times? Anyway, so on that note, and then the defense, if I'm shoddy, I don't know what to do because I don't think he has the ability to get Felice out of there, and I do think that is what needs to happen, among other things. It's not just him, but I'm having conversations with all my coordinators to see who philosophically likes to blitz, and I'm asking Jerry for permission to do that. But on the offensive side, please keep running the ball. Stop with the short passes. All right, bye.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, what's going to get Dak Prescott in the MVP talk is winning games. That's what's going to do it. It's not about the stats. It's not all that stuff. So I don't know what that is. I don't know why you want to throw on the ball second one, try to throw it up to Pickens. I don't understand that. There's an All-Pro sitting there covering him, but there's not an All-Pro. They got good defense, but there's not like an All-Pro right there at the defensive line. You went from the 4 to the 1 on first down. Try it again. See what happens. Javonte Williams, who used to play in Denver, probably feels a certain way about the way that game went. I mean, he did score twice, but they got cute down there. To me, and throwing the ball is not considered cute, but it is when you're on the 1 yard line and your running back is averaging 5 yards a pop. I bet he can score. I bet he scores there. Take advantage of that interception you just got and go score a touchdown. And then, but they didn't. I mean, and we've seen it. They've thrown the ball from the 1 and they throw it to Ferguson and it's a touchdown and no one says anything about getting cute and all that. It's only cute when you end up kicking a field goal on that same drive and you didn't score. But, I just think hand the ball to Javonte Williams 2 or 3 times in a row and see if they stop him every time, then let's talk. But I don't think that's going to happen. All right. Casey Joe in Kansas City. What's up?
Good morning, Nick. How are you doing today, sir?
Good. Thank you.
Good. Hey, the only bright spot I seen yesterday from the poor defense is Bridges. Now, I know he's green. They said he came from the Chargers practice squad. That's what they said on another show. And but he at least is willing to go after the ball, and that's kind of what we need on defense. I mean, he might not be for this year, but I'd like for him to keep him around and develop him.
Okay. Thanks for the call. He's young. I mean, he gave up some plays. It kind of reminded me of the Washington game last year in Washington when Josh Butler had like 12 tackles and he was fighting and scrappy. Gave up an 87-yard touchdown as well. Gave up some plays. There was a reason why he had 12 tackles. They were throwing at him a lot. And, Bridges kind of the same way. They weren't afraid of him. I mean, he was out of position, and the pass was so bad that he got an interception. He's a young player. He needs to get better. He's not. I don't think he's the answer. But like you just said, though. He needs to develop. Continue to develop. Maybe there's something there, but they got issues on defense for sure. I mean, we know this. I mean, of course they have issues. They're the worst in the league. So I'm not breaking any news here. But there's different guys to try. I mean, obviously with Trayvon's injury and him being out, this was a guy that was supposed to be there with Bland, with Elam. When those three are out there together, I think that that they could have been a good trio, but we haven't really seen that, and definitely haven't seen it playing kind of a man-to-man defense. All right, Davion in Illinois.
What's going on, Nick? I know we got to be quick.
Hey.
Still coming in. I'm coming in hot, but it's gonna be a good one. First things first, we got to get over the fact of trying to get rid of Felice. He's gonna be here for the rest of the year. People just gotta accept that. It's gonna be what it is. I think we need to on offense, we need to just try to abandon the idea of punting. We need to really just try to go for it a lot. Basically, if it's 4th and 5 and under, we got to go, especially when we're on the road because we're not really getting anything from the defense on the road. And we got to try to cut some dead weight on some of on the defense. We got a lot of guys that really just is out there that's not really doing anything to help us. So we need to try to move some of the guys around and just bring some guys that really want it, like Winfrey and stuff like that we've seen. It's time to make some moves, get some cut some people out of here, and try to get this thing, establish the thing, so we can make a run at this thing.
All right, Davion, appreciate that. No punting, he says. It's probably better, analytics to do that, keep going, because here's the deal. Pinning the offense down at the 10-yard line when Anger can get that punt down to 10, fair catch. Okay, does that change anything? Because if you're not stopping the run, they're just going to move the ball out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're more conservative down there, but it's one thing if you can sack the line of scrimmage and they're going to run with those screen passes, you can get off the field and you get the ball back, around midfield. But if you're not stopping the run, then they're gonna run it, throw a little short pass, another run here, and now it's first down, and now they're moving out of it. And so whether they drive it 90 yards or not, at least getting back there. So my point is I agree with you. 4th and 4, 4th and 5. If you like the play calls that you have and you like the route runners, and Ferguson and all that, I mean you've got some ways to pick up the first down. I don't know if I punt. I don't know if I go for it every time. But I like what you're thinking because I do think it probably gives you the best chance to keep moving the football. All right, let's go to break real quick on Storyline and be right back after this.
Alltech Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alltechlansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Alltech Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back to Cowboys Storyline. Let's talk some Cowboys football. They got the Cardinals coming up Monday night. Let's go back to our phone lines. Blair in Newport News, Virginia. Blair, what's up?
Hey, just trying to salvage some optimism after this last weekend. And I'm wondering, is a trade really off the table? And the reason I ask is because, if you don't think the trade can really fix what you're doing, wouldn't it be better to wait and just get the picks next year? I realize after Arizona we got the bye, and then, of course, Overshone may be coming back. But will a single trade be enough to really restore this defense to credibility moving forward? And, of course, Arizona is a big mystery game. You never know what you're going to get there. Yeah. I'll take your comments off the air. Thanks so much, right. Nick. Appreciate you.
All right. I said this earlier this week. I'm not trying to find Charles Haley move. Okay, I'm not trying to find that one piece that's going to take you to the Super Bowl. What I'm trying to find is a player that can give you enough of an impact that can get you off the field on third down. That's all I need. I mean, I need that guy that gives you more pass rush than you've seen. He's maybe two guys that can block this guy. Maybe you need a double team. I mean, really, does anyone double team anyone? I need somebody like that can make a play, whether it be a pass rush help. Maybe he's in the back end, safety, another corner, somebody that is a playmaker that can get you off the field. Because if I can get off the field a couple times, more than I've seen, then your offense can do something with it. So, all right. But that's my take. Yeah, I think a trade can help because your offense is really good. You have a really good offense. So you just need a little help on defense. If your offense was just average and just so here and there, then no, you probably one player's not going to change things. But if I can just get off the field a couple times, yeah, I think I can do something. All right, Brian in Kansas City.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Hey, I was thinking last weekend exactly what you brought up yesterday is that this reminds me of 2018. Pass rush by committee didn't work any better than receiver by committee.
Right.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I do think, though, that if we think we're going to make a move, it should be for the long term, not just, hey, what'll get us to 9 or 10 wins this year?
Yeah.
And because I think that might drive us to overpay a little bit,
Yeah.
And we didn't for Amari. We did not overpay for Amari. We got about what they should have got, And
yeah.
I think that we need a pass rusher or a middle linebacker, meaning long term. And I'm with you. This has to be somebody we have control over for a couple of years, so on and so forth. So just my thoughts on that. Hey, I wanted to ask you a question about BB. I know he was close to playing last week, so I hope that means he's going to play this week. But any update on him, man?
Yeah.
That's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Brian. A little early for updates this week on BB, but you're right. He did. I mean, I talked to him, and he said he thought there was a shot he could play against Denver. But, he wanted to. The player doesn't always – give you the best update because they all think they can play. They all think that they're fine or whatever. But I think for sure this week it was a good opportunity. And I think now that we've seen these losses the Cowboys have had against Carolina and Denver, they're getting whipped up front. And that's a big key. They're not running the football. I mean, look at what wins and losses. Look at what Javonte Williams is doing in the wins versus the loss. I think that's the real key part of these games. And they've got to get better there. I think that there's a thought that there's a little bit better communication up front when BB's in there, maybe a little stronger too. One way or another, though, they got to get better in the middle. And I would think BB could come back this week. Gerald in Port Allen, Louisiana.
Hey, what's up, Nick? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh man, hanging in there. Being a Cowboys fan, loving it. So gonna go real quick. As far as like the defense as a whole in the scheme, do you feel as if they would have played more in the preseason that we would have seen a lot of the holes or the miscommunication or would they got that tightened up in the preseason versus seeing it in the middle of the season? Would they got that? You think they would have got that tightened up? And I'll hang up and listen.
All right.
And listen to you again.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I know there's a thought out there of that. I not to be argumentative or anything like that. I don't ever believe that. Only because everything is so vanilla. Nobody shows anything anymore. So those guys could have all played, but I just don't know that your teams that you're playing, I can't remember who they play in the preseason. I mean, Baltimore, the Rams, Falcons, they had their own issues anyways, just stopping them on defense. But I just think you're not, most teams aren't playing their starters, and then they're certainly not going to throw out some of their more exotic plays and stuff. So I just think you're right. They could have done, they could have seen a little bit more of this. They could have played more. They could have been a little bit more crisp. But what you're going to see and how long you're going to play them versus the thought of losing them to a season-ending injury in the preseason game would just be catastrophic. I think the risk-reward just isn't there for me because I don't think you're going to get as much value of them just being out there for, think about it. The last preseason game was Friday, August 22nd, and then the next game is September the 4th. So, that's, you're still talking like 2 weeks pretty much. It was 2 weeks. So, there's a chance that you can, knock the rust off and then play 3 games and then get more rust for the next game. So, I don't know. I'm just not a huge proponent of that because I just think the risk is just too much there. All right, let's go to break here one more time on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back after this.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette. Tuesday, October 28th. This is the day we tape our TV show, and we had to get those two segments out of the way. Now we can roll a little bit, and I didn't want to have to rush my next caller here, Randy. Dexter Ken, I know you got things to say. Let's make it somewhat quick, but I still want to hear from you.
I'll try. My brain hurts on this defense thing. All right, okay. You know, I've never called in and badmouth anybody. I'm not one of these people that want to talk bad about coaches and players because I can't do what they're doing, so I don't want to badmouth them. But I almost have to just to get this conversation out. So one guy I will talk bad about, Acho. Emmanuel Acho, is that his name? He used to play for us. He's got his own show.
No. He didn't play for the Cowboys.
Okay, well, that
he did some stuff with the Cowboys, but, I mean, he played in his 10 games that he played. They weren't with the Cowboys.
Okay, all right. Well, I've never really cared for him. But anyway, I saw a deal on that he was pinpointing a bunch of plays from this past game with the defense.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you saw that? Okay. Is it the coach or is it the players? Like, the Broncos literally had an answer for everything we did. At one point, we had 6 players covering 4 guys, and he still caught a wide-open touchdown in the end zone. And so do you lean toward, okay, the players are just not up to par and smart enough to handle it, or is the coach calling bad plays or / not coaching the players to do the correct thing? I just don't know where to go with this.
Yeah.
I don't know that any of us do, really.
No, I think it's a combination of a lot of things, and it's not good. I mean, like you don't have your pass rush. These guys are the guys that they are going to war with. I mean, once they traded Micah, they said they'll be fine with these guys, and these guys are not fine. And then to make it worse is that on the back end, I mean, we're about 2 players away from calling Darren Woodson in to play at safety. That's going to really set him back for the Hall of Fame even more because if he comes out here and plays. But that's about where they are at safety. So you take the lack of players there, the lack of pass rush here, the linebackers in between are getting knocked off their ass. They're not even trying. Well, you got me. I'm not going to go there, but I'm just saying it's just a bad mix all the way around. So it looks like bad coaching, and it could be. I mean, it could be. I'm not one, though. I know what you're referring to. I'm not one to just say fire him. He needs to lose his job. All that. I don't know, but that's easy to do and say because you don't have to be accountable because you're not here. I mean, and that's not just him. That's anybody. And it's real easy to say, fire this guy, fire that guy. Yeah, change it. For who? I mean, this is my Ricky Waters statement here. For who? For what? Who's coming in here and this guy's better. This guy. So.
And I'm really wanting all the fans to ease up on the Overshown thing. Man, this guy hasn't played football in a year. It's going to take him 4 games to get in the groove.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be the savior. He'll be a good addition, but he's not going to come in immediately and make that big of an impact. Everybody needs to ease up. And actually yesterday, Jesse said, and I almost agree with him, if we drop 1 or 2 more games before he's scheduled to come back, it might be best just to not let him come back and just get 100% fully healthy for next year and come in fresh next year and not risk hurting him again. But that's about all I got to say. It's just a frustrating defensive situation, and I hate that we may waste away a really good offense and waste away a year with Pickens if we're not able to keep him. And I want them to make a move, but I don't have the answers to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know who to get, what to get. You know, it's crazy. I think this is just what we got to deal with. I think this is our season, and we just all need to accept that. You know.
Okay. All right, Randy. I mean, and it could be. I mean, it's just I've said it several times. I mean, being a Cowboy fan is like it's one of those Six Flags roller coasters, and this is this year more than ever because it's up and it's down, and it looks good here. It looks like it's going to be over. Then it goes backwards, and then it goes around, and you lost your cap and it fell down, and But I mean, it's that kind of roller coaster. That's what kind of season this is. They're just good on offense and really bad on defense, and the mixture is going to be probably going to put you. I mean, they're probably headed for 8-1. The back half of the schedule looks tougher, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's none of these games that you couldn't go win. Kansas City and Detroit are both playing better, way better. I mean, they look pretty elite, so those are going to be tough ones. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you're putting quarterbacks that are just average quarterbacks and making them look like they're ready to go in the Hall of Fame. So, all right. I'll say this about the Overshown thing, though. I couldn't disagree more with that. I mean, if he's not healthy, then he shouldn't be playing at all. It doesn't matter if you're undefeated or winless or whatever. If he's not ready to go, then don't put him out there. If he's rehabbed, ready to play, play. I mean, football players play. I mean, I don't. That's what they do, right? That's the job of a football player is to go play football. So if he's not ready, and you're like, well, I don't want to risk more injury, well, then just don't ever play him. Then, I mean, but I think he's ready to go, and I want him to go play, and get better. He's still a young player that hadn't played a lot of football. Play some more football, get better, figure out the right spot to use him, when to blitz him, when to play him at linebacker, and all that stuff. Use these games for worth, I mean, that's what's funny. I hope whoever says that is not saying that they need to play in the preseason, okay? You got people that are saying, why don't they play in the preseason? And then if there's anyone that's saying, I would just shut them down, what are we talking about here? All right, Josh in Chicago.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Well, I could be better. I think, looking at this optimistically, you had a lot of teams that lost in front of you in the playoff spots, right? That would have been really nice to get a win, but at least you didn't kind of lose ground against them, right?
AFC definitely won the battle. If there was like an ESPN NFC versus AFC challenge or something like that, which they call the Pro Bowl. But anyway, the
I'll count it really quick.
AFC had their day, even last night too. Or Monday night, whenever that was. Yeah, that is last night.
Yeah, I'm counting. I'm at. I think they won 7 of the matchups, and I think they went like 7-1. It looks like.
Yeah.
So I mean, just insane. But I think I called during the off season. I'm kind of with you on the trade. If it's the right person for the right price, I'm doing it, because I think brought up a good point yesterday on the break of you kind of get a jump start to next season too, right? So if it's the right person and you get a long-term deal done, or if it's somebody who's got years on their contract, then hey, why not do it? I brought up kind of jokingly during the off season about, hey, Nick Vigil is still out there. And I'm looking, at the list of free agents who are still out there. And I think when Brian Schottenheimer talks about a team that competes, there's a lot of cornerbacks, safeties, and linebackers who are still out there as free agents. And I kind of wonder if they should bring some of these guys in. They'll at least kick the tires around, let them practice, let them have a tryout, and see if any of them might give you more than what you're getting right now, because hey, competition, creates better players, hopefully, right? Like that's the goal. So I kind of look at the list of, the linebacker, safeties, and cornerbacks that are out there, and it's like, hey, why not bring some of these guys in and give them an opportunity and see what they have and if they have anything left in the tank. But that's kind of my thought. I'll leave it to you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, you're kicking the tires again on some of those guys that were here. there's always a question of why guys are available. I mean, there's a reason why. And then how long is it going to take them to be kind of up to speed? I just don't believe there's anybody that's sitting on the street that can help really any team. But I don't think I don't know. I could be wrong. But it's just hard to think these guys are going to get here, get ready to play, and help you that much when none of the other 31 teams wanted them to even be on their practice squad. I mean, that's the thing too. Like practice. Now, part of it too is that these guys are like, I'm not doing it for this price. I'm not going to do it just to do it. I'm not going to do it to just be on the practice squad. Fine, I get it, but that doesn't also bode well for guys that are going to come right in off the street and help you. We've seen certain times where that's happened. Every now and again. I think a few years ago, the Cowboys brought in, remember T.Y. Hilton, that receiver? He'd been sitting there all year. I think he was just coaching his son's little league team or something, Pee Wee football. And then when that season was over, he was like, all right, I'm ready to play. and now he's talking about a really good player. I mean, there are rare cases. I'm sure there's somebody out there that could help, but I think the best way to do it is get a guy that's playing on a team and at least somebody that's practicing every week. All right, JR in Avondale, Arizona.
Morning, Nick. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I've been a little under the weather. I haven't heard the show in a couple of days, so I'll probably talk about a lot of stuff y'all have already talked about. So,
it's all right. What do you got?
The best team doesn't always win, but they did this weekend. The Broncos. I think you got to realize Broncos are a really good team, and they're a really well-coached team. I don't know if you heard Sean Payton talking to the sideline reporter during the game, but he talked about targeting Bridges and targeting our secondary because we had a bunch of people out.
Yeah.
So, tip my hat to him. He's a great coach. But as far as the defense goes, when you see players that just the fundamentals aren't there, and it's the simple stuff that I coached for quite a while, and stuff you teach guys in high school and in little league that these guys aren't doing as professionals, and you got to wonder the want has to be there. I think Coach once told me tackling is 80% want. You got to want to tackle, and just like I always talk about Elam, he's just not very good as a football player, and there's not really an answer. But I do believe that coaches coach and players play, and at some point the players got to play. And I just don't think they're playing, so that's why I'd like to see them. I don't want them to lose their job or anything, but shake something up. Something's got to change to get something out of the players that they're not getting. And that's just my thinking, and that's all I got. And I'll let y'all go and go Cowboys.
All right. Well, yeah, Schottenheimer didn't say what it would be, but he promised. He's like, oh, you're going to see some changes. You may not see it all this week, but after, bye week coming up, you're going to see some changes for sure. The scary part of that is because if there's any part of you that says good, man, that's good. I can't wait to see that. That Vegas game, we got to get through this, get this win, and then the Vegas, there's going to be some changes. If you're excited about that at all, just know that you're facing an Arizona team that's lost 5 straight games, mostly by 2 or 3 points, if not 1 point, and they're coming off a bye. So I bet they're going to bring some changes, maybe at quarterback. So just know that that's what you have going up this week against Arizona. But I don't know what these changes could be or will be, but don't wait that long. I mean, try to fix something here. You got an extra day for Monday Night Football. Try to make a change. Do something. I get it that the bye week could be the time to do some of that, but I'm all for it. I'm not looking at next year. I don't think this team's looking at next year. I know the fans are, but I don't think anyone's looking at next year. They're looking at how to figure out a way to win this game, get some things altered, try to beat the Raiders, and knowing after that it gets really tough schedule-wise, and so they're going to have to be as good as they can possibly be. All right, Michael in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Well, I could not call yesterday. I had to just listen. I couldn't speak anything yesterday because it would have been bad.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, and thanks for the listen.
Yeah, I listened to the whole show, but I was like, nah, I can't call. BB's coming back. That's good. But I believe if two things don't happen, that our season is going to end with 5 or 6 wins. And I think those two things are Overshown, Demo, has got to come back with just a vengeance. And I believe we have to get a new body in here for pass rushing, somebody who's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
I think we have both of those things have to happen. I'm the secondary. I'm sure it's just that injuries and everything, but I think if that happens, then we're going to win some games. I'm not looking to next year.
Yeah.
You said a lot of fans are. I'm still on this year. The all season is too long to give up after not even halfway.
No, I mean you're right. There's 9 games left. Thanks for the call, Michael.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. There's nine games left. You've got 5 of them at home, and you got 5 of them at home. You're averaging over 40 points a game at home. I'm not saying that that's going to continue, but even if you slip a little bit, you should be okay there. This team plays well at home this year, at least from what we've seen, and you've got some games that you can do something with, and even on those road games, I'm looking at the schedule. Raiders, on the road, first time to ever play in Vegas. You should have a lot of fans there. That should be a place where you go there and play well coming off a bye. The Lions is going to be tough on a Thursday night after the Thanksgiving. That's going to be a tough game for sure. And then, at Washington, a place where they've won before, and that's Christmas Day. We'll see what happens there, and at the Giants. So, winnable road games for sure. Maybe not. They're all winnable. Detroit's going to be the toughest game. There's no doubt. But then, also at home. My point is that there's some, there's no reason to be looking at next year. There's a reason to kind of fix a few things. The schedule still, you still got some opportunities to win some games, but you're gonna have to win some of these that you guys have probably put the W and the L and they're gonna win this. They're gonna have to get some of those L's. They're going to have to flip those around because the most optimistic Cowboy fan didn't have an L at Carolina probably. So probably even Chicago either. So they've got to get some of these, and they haven't yet. That's one of the big things. They have to beat some teams that you're not expecting them to beat. All right, KC and LA. Next.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Transitioning from despondent to rationalization, and hope comes tomorrow. So at least we're going in the right direction.
Nice.
I feel like Sunday, just a missed opportunity on that opening drive. I know we needed 7, but keep hammering Javonte right there, dude. You do that. You stoke him out. You stoke the team out. You set that physical edge, and it just gets everybody hyped. Being the former Bronco there, I think it sets a different tone. Too cute down there. I'm not sure it mattered for the whole game, but at least you're saying we're physical and we're going to take it to you. So hate when they get cute down there. And I agree with you, dude. We got to make moves for this season. It's not a guarantee that this offense comes back and it just lights out next year. Do what we can to improve the team, and just got to get some pressure on the quarterback, man. We're making these guys look like all pros. Look what Caleb's done since that game against us. So it can be fixed, but takes action. So hopefully we get there.
You're exactly right. Thank you so much. You should never have lost to Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, Russell Wilson. I mean, Jordan Love had a great game. I mean, Justin Fields didn't play that great. He was okay. Obviously, Bo Nix played great. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is sitting there in a few weeks. Jared Goff. Justin Herbert after that. So, yeah, I mean, there's some quarterbacks that are considered really good that you're going to have to go up against. So there's no doubt about it. They got to try to fix all that. Let's go back to our phone line here. Corey in Buckeye, Arizona. Corey, what's up?
Hey, Nick.
Hey.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'll try to make this as quick as I can. I'm not a normal caller, but more of an example followed up by maybe some thoughts or
You've called before?
question for you. Oh, man, it's probably the first year y'all started this great show, but it's been a long time.
Well, I was trying to give the here we go.
Go Tigers.
You definitely didn't get that. All right, what do you got?
Yeah.
Too late.
There we go. So, no, kind of an example is we've all seen that defender, that DB, that it's third down and they celebrate because they made them punt, right? A pass was thrown to their defender that they were guarding and they forced a punt. And he's celebrating, and it's a little embarrassing because it's like, what are you celebrating for? The receiver dropped the pass. Your defender was wide open. The quarterback threw a terrible ball, right? And that's kind of our defense, I feel like, is we don't necessarily just make plays and force them to punt. It's more we need a lot of help from that offense to shoot themselves in the foot. And I think in general, it's a little – I feel like fans are waiting to see what direction the Joneses are going to go with any change that's going to come up, right? Are they going to just lean on returning players coming back from injury and just hope that the draft is going to eventually propel this defense into what it needs to be, which would be a long wait because we have personnel on the defense right now that were brought here to play in Quinn's defense. And so to see that turnover to Falusa's defense would take some time. Or is it going to be, hey, let's make a splash or trade and let's try to get some help in now to complement the prolific offense that we can be.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's just my thoughts and what I feel like a lot of the fans are waiting to see what direction the Joneses are going to go.
Yeah, I think we all are. Thanks for the call, Corey. And, you mentioned about defensive players on this team celebrating after, a pass deflection or whatever. That's kind of football, right? That's everybody. I mean, every league, every level, high school, everyone's doing the seatbelt on defense. It doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter if the pass, hit a cheerleader. It doesn't matter if the pass wasn't caught. Everyone's making some great play, cool, and and it is embarrassing, and it also kind of shows that you don't really care. That's what I look at. I look at when you're celebrating some play, when you're down by 17 points, 21 points. It kind of shows exactly what matters to you, and that's your stats and how you're doing and how you're playing and all that. Not so much what the score is or stuff like that. Believe me, and it's happened forever. I remember Antonio Bryant catching a touchdown in the Meadowlands, down 37-0, caught a touchdown, slammed it over the goalpost. So that score finished 37-7. He got his touchdown. I mean, it's nothing new. It's the way it is, and yeah, it's what it is. Rick in St. Charles, Missouri. What's up, Rick?
Not much. How are things going today?
Good. How are you?
Good. I don't think you can fix this defense. It is what it is. I thought about a month or so ago, I think I called in and said something then, but I think there's a mismatch in talent, and I don't know if it's style or coaching or whatever, but that's where it is. And I don't see how you can fix that at the trade deadline. There's just too much that needs to happen. Probably going to need at least one draft, maybe more than one, to fix what's going on. And I don't know that many people expected the defense to be much better than what it is going into the season or preseason, rather, or training camp.
I did.
And then you take Mike out of the picture, and how's it going to be the same or any better? It's just not. And I've watched him some, and I don't lament it anymore, but I just see him play for Green Bay, and they're a very talented team on defense. So he's just eating it up, and it's just like I expected him to do.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think, me personally, I don't look forward or back anymore. We are where we are. If you really analyze it, and I will for 10 seconds, that the number of games that are left, they have to win most of them, if not nearly all of them, to get in the playoffs. And so I just don't see that being possible. I like the process. I like to watch them build a team and that kind of thing, and that's the way I'm going to focus on it. And then after the season's over, count up the wins and losses and see if they qualify, and then go from there. So that's pretty much it. Just a little rant commentary.
Okay.
I like watching football, and I'm going to watch it. I'm disappointed in how the season's turning out, but really it's not that outrageous. It could have gone either way at the beginning of the season. So hopefully they'll get a couple wins. I'm a little worried about the Cardinals on Monday, but hopefully they'll get another win.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Rick, appreciate that. Yeah, good stuff. And they are going to have to. They're going to have to win more games than they lose without a doubt down the stretch. We know that 5-4 in the final 9 games is going to put them at 8-1. That's not going to get it done. So they're going to have to even be better than that. Let's go to break one more time on Storyline. Be right back.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Back to Cowboys Storyline. Presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, back here on Cowboys Storyline here to wrap this thing up. And, man, the Cowboys need to get a big win Monday night against Arizona. We all know that. And that's kind of the way this season has gone. A lot of seasons here in the last few years of the up, down, back, forth. And the Cowboys have been really good at home, and that's where they're going back to now. They're going to face an Arizona team that has also been pretty good here at AT&T Stadium, and their quarterback issues are interesting. I mean, they've lost 5 straight games, and Kyler Murray's had a foot injury. He's supposed to be eligible to come back. I don't think it's a slam dunk that he will be back for this game. Jacoby Brissett's played pretty well, but they haven't won games, though. They've had close games. Now Kyler Murray though has done. I think he's undefeated at AT&T Stadium. I know he's won a couple of games with the Cardinals, but he was a legendary quarterback, and most of these guys were in high school. But Kyler Murray was pretty legendary in Allen High School, and they won all these games, and they won a lot at AT&T Stadium. So very familiar with this place. We'll see what happens on Monday night. Like I said, Arizona's lost 5 straight games, all of them by a combined 13 points, so they're very, very close in these games. They're coming off a bye week. Let's see what happens. The Cowboys kind of like meeting at the door here, at the bye door. Like they're coming off the bye. Cowboys about to go into it. We'll see how they are. I know there's a lot of injuries that a lot of people want to say, hey, wait till next week coming back from the Raiders, but they got to get this win. So if the guy's ready to play, healthy to play, like Cooper Beebe, I think he comes back. Maybe about Malik Hooker. I'm not sure if he's ready just yet. They want to see Donovan Wilson. They got to have some safeties in here. They're, again, like I said, one call away from getting Darren Woodson back here. But we'll see. Been a fun show. Love to hear from you guys. Appreciate all the calls. And we'll see if we can get this thing turned around. It should be a lot of fun. We'll see what happens next week when the Cowboys take on the Arizona Cardinals on Monday Night Football. We'll talk to you next time.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!